Okay, now breaking my name is Cook4545, and welcome back to Trauma Center, New Blood. And last part I think we did Pacemaker. No, we did Dependable Pair and Stigma. Now we're gonna do Lost in Flames. Here we go. Marcus is here in touch with better on this one.
Professor, can you hear me?
Yes. I'm fully conscious.
The operation was a success. All the pathogens were removed, and your heart is functioning normally.
It was a complicated procedure, but we were able to complete it. Being operated on while you still had your strength should speed your recovery.
Well, Professor, congratulations on the success of your operation.
Thank you.
That stigma is quite a remarkable disease. I never imagined such an insidious pathogen could exist. It amazes me each time I watch the recording of the operation.
Recording? Rousseau, I thought I made myself clear. I only gave you permission to read through the existing data.
Yes, that's true, but I thought perhaps...
My orders are absolute. Or are you scheming to steal my research?
Don't be silly, Professor. I'm completely loyal to...
I want everything in this room. That includes any recordings and extracted organisms. I won't have them where I...
Professor, please. You must stay calm.
Dr. Rousseau, can't whatever you have to discuss with Professor Wilkins wait until later?
Yes, well then, please excuse me, Professor.
Please. I'd like to be alone for a while. Don't worry. I won't overexert myself.
Then we'll return later to explain your status.
Yes. Thank you.
We don't have a sample or any data. So how do you intend to study stigma, Marcus?
Are you just going to pretend it doesn't exist?
No self-respecting doctor would admit the existence of such a thing, outside of a sci-fi movie.
That's only because they lack the knowledge.
Oh, really?
Do you recall the incident that occurred 10 years ago? A deadly man-made infectious disease spread throughout the world. It was known as guilt.
What? It's a reference.
Now that you mention it, I do remember that.
So that was 10 years ago. So this takes place 10 years after Trauma Center Second Opinion.
Is there a connection between guilt and stigma?
Most likely not. The professor has already tested that vaccine on it. It had absolutely no effect.
So we do have a guilt vaccine now.
I guess I can see why Rousseau's so intrigued by it. If he was the one to announce it to the world, he'd become the most renowned doctor in medical history.
4 days later.
Dr. Vaughn, Dr. Blaylock, 2 patients have been added to each of your schedules.
Aren't these Rousseau's patients?
Yes, but he's very busy.
Looks like I better get used to being sleep deprived.
It seems Professor Wilkins is on the road to wellness.
But how long will it take for him to fully recover?
The professor's a lot tougher than he looks, you know.
Dr. Rousseau must be hoping he resigns, or at least relinquishes some of his authority.
I heard another hospital has been courting him as well. He's had a lot of visitors lately.
Perhaps he's going to take up a position as a lecturer somewhere. I envy him.
He's the talk of the entire hospital.
Oh, but he's not the only one.
Meaning what exactly?
I've heard from more than one source that someone will be paying you two a visit soon as well. Maybe Professor-to-be Rousseau will let you know about it.
It's not really my idea of a promotion.
Well, I'm calling it quits for today. Hopefully tomorrow won't be as stressful.
What about the professor's charts?
He's been updating them himself. It is top secret after all. Speak of the devil. He's paging us. I wonder what he wants.
He didn't mention anything to me. Is that the fire alarm?
Something must have happened. We better go check on the professor. Oh no!
Help! That man's on fire! We have to help him!
Be careful, Marcus!
Drop to the floor! Hurry! Valerie, isn't there a fire extinguisher around?
Doctor, stand aside!
Quick thinking, Elena.
Someone. Professor Wilkinson. Stigma.
Russo, is that you?
And then set fire.
Hang in there. We're going to get you some help.
He's been badly burned. His life is in danger.
I'll get something to transport him with.
Thank you, Elena. Get the OR ready too.
So it's time to tackle one of something very annoying. This is the burn victim treatments, and a lot of people don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know. They're easy once you get used to it, but it's very annoying, and yeah. Marcus's healing touch would be better, I believe. Less pools of blood forming, which would come in handy, so yeah.
The patient is suffering from burns all over his body, concentrated on the left side. Some of them are third-degree burns, I'm afraid. The burned area covers over 20% of his body. He's in extremely critical condition. We'll have to use skin grafts. I suggest that we transplant skin from the right half of his body, which has fewer burns.
If we can't use synthetic skin, then that's our only option.
If we inject culture fluids, we'll be able to avoid further damage.
Since we'll be working on third-degree burns, I've prepared some coolants as well. I've said this already, but he's in critical condition.
Yeah, Marcus would be better because there would be a lot of pools of blood, and we don't want that. Valerie's will also be good if you're having trouble keeping the vitals up. But, yeah.
Right, let's get started. These burns are pretty severe. Skin grafts are the only option.
This also would be good with 2 players. Probably better with 2 players.
We'll have to remove skin from elsewhere before we can begin treating the burns.
Alright, I'll get the culture fluid ready for you. You'll have to inject it into the right side of his body, where the skin isn't burned. We need to collect donor skin first. The culture is taking effect. Please use the scalpel to remove a section of the epidermis.
It's best to get a lot of them ready.
You have to inject the culture fluid into a part that hasn't been burned. The affected area is bleeding heavily. Hurry up and drain it.
Yeah, as you can see, the vitals
Once
look
we're
up.
ready to transfer.
You'll most likely let's look
I
at
don't
We'll
care.
need to
Are you prepared? Please inject it directly into the blackened tissue. Now, it looks like this area is going to drain the blood
you see?
first. Then, prepare another piece of tissue
don't
for
want blood.
grafting. We've covered the burn. We're done with this area. Let's go on to another burn.
I'm gonna wait until blood pools. Let's take
The
care of
coolant
this
seems
one.
to be working. Now, you can place the excised tissue on the tray.
Come on.
The area's been debrided, so you can proceed to drain the blood.
We're halfway through. Keep it up.
Ah.
almost done.
I used to also trying to go down.
it won't be effective unless you inject it directly into the blackened area.
Oh, I missed one. Misplaced one. How am I misplacing one constantly? Hope to. Nope.
You completed the treatment. Great
That one
work,
is
team.
difficult. And you only have 5 minutes, so it's even more challenging. Like I said, Marcus will be better with the healing touch, so to slow down time. If you're having trouble with the blood pools, keep on forming. If you're having trouble with the vitals, keep on dropping. Valerie would be better. So this one is just a preference at this point. See. I believe one is don't mess up or don't miss. The other one is a time limit. Beat it, and one of them is have less pools blood form, and I believe another one is don't let any skin grafts get destroyed by the blood. I would take a C. I hate that one. The next day.
The professor's office is nothing but ashes. Fortunately, no one seems to have been inside. But the professor's whereabouts are unknown, and we have reason to believe the data was stolen.
Oh, he said data. I interchange data and data.
According to what Russo said, the professor seems to have been kidnapped. What did the detectives ask you?
Same things they asked you. What did I see when I arrived at the scene? Did I notice anything suspicious? You know, the usual. Oh, they also asked about the professor's condition. I didn't say anything about Stigma, for now. They wouldn't understand anyway.
I can't believe he was kidnapped. What's their motive? They obviously want more than just a ransom.
What's gonna happen to this hospital? What about us? The media's gonna be all over this incident. We won't have time to examine our patients.
Dr. Blaylock, Dr. Vaughn, there's someone here to see you.
If it's another investigator, then forget it.
Actually, it's the director of Caduceus.
What?
Long time no see. Regarding what happened the other day, you have my sympathy.
Thanks.
How can we help you?
It's a little complicated, so I'll get right to the point. After seeing the two of you in action, I negotiated with the hospital to have you both transferred to our staff.
You're recruiting us?
That was the plan, but circumstances have changed.
So what does that mean?
Dr. Vaughn, Dr. Blaylock, by the authority of the federal government, I hereby order your immediate transfer to Caduceus.
The authority of the federal government?
The decision was made based on the research we believe Professor Wilkins was performing. As skilled doctors and colleagues of the professor, we require your expertise in the U.S. branch of Caduceus. We'll do our best to accommodate any staff member requests you may have.
I can't believe it. We're going to Caduceus.
I'm getting a lot of C's in this one. And this is a special assignment, new chapter. I'm getting a lot of C's in this one. Which is fine. This seems a bit harder than usual. Because before in Trump sent a second opinion, I was getting a lot of good. I mean, not usually A's, sometimes B's, sometimes C's, but I'm just getting a lot of C's.
Maryland, on the Atlantic coast of the United States of America, in a location close to the nation's capital, lies the U.S. branch of Caduceus, the international organization that treats and researches new diseases. Caduceus USA falls under the jurisdiction of Health and Human Services, yet they have their own authority to execute private missions. They are dedicated to the treatment of intractable diseases and the prevention of infectious illnesses.
Marcus Vaughn, age 34, surgeon, place of birth, California. Valerie Blaylock, age 28, surgeon, place of birth, North Carolina. Elena Salazar, age 20, nurse, place of birth, California. You three will be assigned to the newly created Special Disease Counteraction Team. Now, sign here, and on the written oath and the waiver form. Why the sour face, Dr. Vaughn?
You're forming a new team? What, is this an anti-stigma measure?
You mean is it a result of Professor Wilkins' procedure? Well, we've had this planned for a long time, though the discovery of Stigma did hasten its establishment. At least things will be easier on you, since it's such a small team.
Thanks for your concern. But if we'll be dealing with mainly new diseases, then we'll be performing fewer operations. I hope that won't affect my salary.
Leave it to you to think of that, Marcus.
No need to worry. We'll be referring plenty of patients to you. Special cases which may require the healing touch.
Well, that's good to hear.
Your job description won't change much either, Elena. Your priority will be to assist Dr. Vaughn and Dr. Blaylock with the operations assigned to them.
Thank you very much. I'll do my best. Just
Then, the first thing I'd like you to do is become familiar with Caduceus. And provide us with whatever information you have on Stigma.
Regarding that matter, we've only encountered Stigma in one operation. There's really not much for us to disclose, especially since Professor Wilkins kept a tight lid on all the data.
That's all right. Just tell us whatever you know. You may be surprised at how much you recall. Extraordinary events leave deep imprints on our memory.
I hope we'll be able to live up to your high expectations. I was wondering, are we going to be questioned about the disappearance of the professor?
That won't be necessary. This is a hospital, not a police department.
well, we don't know where the professor was taken. They haven't even demanded a ransom.
I still feel uneasy about all this, but we'll do what we can.
Okay, let me show you around. I hope we can cover everything before my guest arrives. Now, this is your office.
Wow. Look at this equipment. I knew Caduceus would be amazing, but this is too much.
Your responsibilities won't be much different than they were in the past. Even though you're now members of Caduceus, you're still first and foremost doctors. We dedicate ourselves to research here, but at the same time, we see regular patients. A major part of your duties will be to keep your skills sharp.
Well, it can't be any worse than Concordia. I mean, we weren't exactly welcome there.
Now, let's take a look at where you'll be performing your surgeries. There are a total of 10 ORs, each one equipped for a different type of procedure. Oh, Dr. Everett.
Director, do you know where Dr. Tsuji is?
This is Dr. Everett, our chief surgeon.
He looks like he's in pain. Is something wrong?
I've got cholelithiasis. I was going to ask Dr. Tsuji to remove the gallstones, but I can't find her anywhere. I can't take this anymore. Director, can you fragment them for me, please?
I wish I could, but I'm expecting a visitor shortly.
But I can't stand the pain any longer. Are these the new doctors you were talking about?
Yes, they are.
I don't care who does it. I just need help. I can walk you through the procedure if necessary. I'll even suture myself when it's over.
I know this is sudden, but would you mind?
So I love this game focuses around having a co-op, because this one will be a lot easier with co-op, but I don't have any friends to play with.
Not at all. Dr. Everett,
Skip the formalities. Just prep for surgery.
Let me explain the chart. Dr. Everett has cholelithiasis and has been experiencing pain for 3 years.
3 years?
Yes. I've told him repeatedly to admit himself to the ward and have it treated. However, it seems he's far more interested in taking care of patients than himself.
typical doctor, neglecting his own needs.
I heard of saying doctors make the worst type of patients. I don't know if that's true or not.
I guess that just goes to show how passionate Dr. Everett is about his job.
When you put it that way. Oh, excuse me, please continue.
We'll use a laser to fragment the gallstone in this operation. Please extract the gallbladder as well during the procedure.
So we'll be taking care of the cause of his pain as well.
Well, I must be going. I'll leave the rest to you three.
If you're having trouble keeping I think Marcus would be better, so you can slow down time and focus on so the gallstones don't make it through. One of the assignments is not to make it go through. Why does it have the blood types? A and B. Is it B positive or B negative? I don't know. But I'm gonna use Marcus because it would be better.
Okay, let's get started.
We will now begin the operation. Please disinfect the incision area and open him up.
Horizontal cuts are always hard.
First, we'll be fragmenting the gallstones passing through the ductal epithelium. If a gallstone passes completely through the epithelium, the patient's vitals will drop. Let's begin by using the ultrasound to locate the gallstones. There's a gallstone. The gallstone has been fragmented. Let's begin extracting the gallbladder as well.
So like I said, having a friend to help you. One focuses on the gallstones, the other focuses on removing the gallbladder. It's really meant to be played with a friend. Too bad I don't have any.
First, inject the sedative into the gallbladder.
We can't remove it all at once. Let's cut it into multiple segments before we take it out.
And don't forget to use the laser on the gallstones while doing so. Alright then. Please begin cutting off the first segment. The cut has caused the blood has been drained. The second segment has been cut off. The hemorrhaging is the gallstone.
I want the big one, so
is
you
split
can have
into
a
two
multiple
parts.
one.
Use the laser to fragment both halves as well. Don't forget to keep fragmenting the gall. The third segment has been cut off. One more to go. Remove the last segment before it hemorrhages again.
The gallbladder has been excised. This should prevent the gallstones from forming.
I don't think anymore.
The patient's vitals have dropped. Please extract gallbladder extraction complete. Please treat the hemorrhaging area with antibiotic gel and suture the epithelium closed. The gallstones have been eliminated and the gallbladder has been extracted. Please close him up. Operation complete. Good job.
Yay. I believe there's a time as well, time limit. Complete this within a certain time. Hey, I'll take it.
We just arrived, and we're already performing emergency surgeries. I can't wait to see what's next. But I guess it was a good chance to get our feet wet.
You always see the positive, Val.
Oh, you're leaving? I was glad to hear the operation went well. Of course, I'd expect nothing less.
We always do our best.
I hear that often, but for some reason, this time I believe it. Tomorrow, we'll meet to discuss Stigma. I'm counting on you both.
Like she said, we always do our best.
I think we're gonna have everything off here. We see you guys when we tackle Q&A in the next video. Goodbye.